Further, thank you very much for joining me today on this event, that you took time in the evening to hear what I'm going to say. It's a pleasure to meet you all, guys. If you have any question, just write it on a live chat on the right-hand side. You have the live chat, so you can easily write it down. This webinar is going to last more or less 1 hour, so I hope we're going to finish before midnight. Of course, I was kidding. So what we're going to cover, it's we're going to start. I'm going to tell you something about the process of 4 steps to health and my experience with that, which I want to share with you. Later on, we're going to discuss a very interesting subject theme, which is fountain of youth and the longevity places on earth. What is it? All is connected with it. After that, we're going to discuss the science behind it, which I was able to research through the many kind of sources and find out is it really a true, and what is the research behind what those features that we're going to talk. Later, we're going to say a few words about who we cooperate with, and a question and answer session at the end of this webinar. But you can still all the time when I'm talking pop some questions, and I will be try to able to answer you right away. Because of some legal issues, I'm not a doctor, so I need to say that before I'm going to start. This webinar is only information purpose only. We don't treat any diseases, and presented products, are we going to say something about our process, do not treat any disease. Before you make any kind of decision concerning your health, please consult with your medical specialist. So I believe we have it, and we can proceed further. My name is Arthur, and since I remember, I always have been interested in the limits of what humankind can do or can achieve. That's why I've always been in love in the aviation and aeronautics. As you see in a photo from my military high school, aviation high school, when I was trained to become a pilot, because I believe that aviation and aeronautics is what the people, the best I would say so far, have achieved. They conquer the sky, so this dream to conquer, to be as a birds, to fly over the earth, has been achieved by the human being. That's what's always really desirable for me. That's I wanted to become a jet pilot. For some reasons, I didn't end up with a jet piloting, but I am within my area. I would say I'm an aerospace engineer working in the aerospace industry. So a few words about how has it started. As you can see, I'm going to share a few my experience with you about this process and how has it started. The photo here shown my shape when I was in I believe one of the best shape in my life. But later on, with time, with having much more sitting job in front of the computer, spending long hours, it turned into that. And it is not even the worst photo, and I mean in the worst shape I've been so far. It was even, I would say, worse than it seems on this photo, to be honest. But I started to feel really clumsy, and I just wanted to know, and I wanted to change it, and I wanted that this level of health and energy which I had before. And when I hit my limits, which was more around 200 pounds, I said myself, I need to change it, because it was not easy for me to even tie my shoes, and I started feeling a huge belly in front of me, which was really disturbing. So I wanted to change it, and then I wanted to start working on my body. The results of this system I'm going to show you at the end of my presentation today. Just so I want to keep you a little bit in suspense. Not only my shape has changed through that whole process. On the right hand side, you can see my weight was decreasing in the process, and first of all, I was happy about it. But this is you can see the amounts are in kilos, and it was dropping within 2 weeks, I believe, from 82 to 74 kilos more or less. I lost around 25 pounds in 2 weeks with the second step of cleansing process. But what is very interesting, all idea about the health has changed. All my mindset about health has changed. And on the left hand side, you can see the photo of my breakfast. How does it look right now? And my lunch, that beforehand I was not able to understand how people can eat only salads and still survive, because I was a huge fan of meat eater. So I was just wondering how people can survive on this kind of, for me it was then, I was thinking it was a really empty food, but now I totally changed my mindset concerning the food. And what is the best, it wasn't really a huge struggle. I do it gradually, so it wasn't like I do it overnight. So this is more or less the results out the whole process of the 4 steps to health. And what is even more interesting, I started to have much more energy. I started to run and jog in the morning. You can see the photo right now here of me jogging in the 5 a.m. in the morning around my island. Everybody is sleeping, and I have feel so much energetic right now because of this, what I achieved. And my all eating habits has changed as well. You can see on the right hand side right now my shopping cart, which is right now full of only healthy food and healthy things raw, and it's not a huge struggle for me. I can survive on it. I wouldn't say survive, I thrive on it. It's really, I like it, and all my eating habits has changed through the process, so which I really recommend you. The things I'm going to talk about and show it with you and share with you not only help me myself personally, thousands, I would say even millions of people out there in the world has been improved their lives and their health with this system, which I'm going to share. They are losing weights, taking control of your life back, starting run marathons, getting much more fit and beauty as well. So it's not I'm trying to reinvent the wheel. No, everything is already there. So it's only that we have to use it, and the system, which helps millions of people all over the world, it's very logical for me, and we're gonna go through it later on, and I found it very interesting. Concerning the health issues, because we're not gonna deal with any kind of disease, as I told them up front, that it's a different kind of idea and mindset and approach to health. 4 steps to health means that we are working on your health. You have like a scale. On the one hand side, you have the disease. On the other hand side, you have the health. So when you are not taking care about your health, then when diseases or your health issues are getting bigger and bigger, then the symptoms will arrive to you, and you will start treating the disease somehow. In this approach, we're not going to take care about disease. It's okay, disease is there. If you have any, it's okay. But we're going to take care about your health. We're going to work on your health and going to increase your health level. And when the other scale is going to be much more weighted, the health is going to be much more valuable, then the disease or symptoms will gradually disappear. Believe me, this is how it works, and it works for many and hundreds of people out there. So this is what I want to share with you. When I wanted to lose weight and work on myself and improve my health, I stumbled upon the article which was saying that the dieting and working out simply do not work in concern of health, and also in concern of weight issues. Because my main aim was, of course, to lose some weight, but I also wanted to increase my health because I started to feel more clumsy, less energetic, getting sick very often. So I said to myself, no, I have to change it somehow. I have to work on my health. And then I find out that, starting improving your health with dieting and working out, it's not a best idea. It's an idea. It's good. It's good that you have at least some kind of the plan. But I've learned that it works only in 2% chances. So I was just, what? I'm an engineer, and I was just wondering how we can approach our increasing health level and having only 2% chances to succeed. No, it has to be a better way. We have to find different thing. So I started to dig through the internet and through the studies and researches, and I've learned that there is a different approach. You don't have to do it suddenly. You can just start gradually and use it, the 4 steps to health, changing your mindset about the health, about dieting, and about all of your health issues as well. So we're gonna start in a few seconds about it. So as a researcher and also a scientist, I started to research from my own field. Enrico Honda is one of the greatest scientists ever lived on Earth, and he's also the pioneer in aviation. He is a founder of fluid dynamics from last century, and he established a lot of laws within the fluid dynamics which we are still using up to date in aviation aeronautics. And he also had this a passion about examining the fluids and especially water. What was really interesting that he was able to based on the water sample, he was able to determine the health of the people living around where the samples were taken, and also the longevities, I mean how long they're gonna live. It was really interesting because he was so passionate about the water, he knows everything about it, that he was, I would say, pioneering that researches. And out of these researches, he was able to identify 5 places on the Earth. That's why where the Fountain of Youth is coming from his researches. 5 places on Earth where the, I would say, very interesting phenomenon of healthy living people occurs. There are many tribes from the mountains, from Andes in South America, from Andes mountains, Vilcabamba in Peru, in Ecuador, also Abkhazia's people in Caucasus mountains in southern Russia, and the Hunza people in the Himalayas. There's also another place which have been identified within that 5 places with the long and healthy life of the people out there, habitants I would say. It's Okinawa Islands, which is really interesting because all those 4 first they had a fresh access to the miraculous water coming from the mountains, and Okinawa Islands has got a little bit different thing that we're gonna discuss it in a few seconds. What was very interesting in those places that they have very special features in common. First of all, they all had a very relaxed life. You know that the stress is the first killer of everything, and stress can kill you and works against our health and with our diseases. So they have really relaxed life. First of all, they didn't really stress themselves concerning the lifestyle. They had a lot of physical exercise. Of course, all of them were lived in a harsh environment in the mountains or in the islands, so they didn't have a lot of technology, they didn't have a lot of help, so they have to do a lot of work by themselves, work on their farms and all this stuff, taking care about the plants and the food and the animals. So they really had a lot of physical exercise. They slept well, and they have access to the fresh, first of all, not processed food. They're rich in minerals, which is very important. And the last factor, which is really interesting here, it's that they treat elderly with wisdom and respect. They all have this sense of community being as a one, and they always had a lot of advantages to share the wisdom and knowledge with from the elderly in their communities. That was very interesting. Even Okinawa Island is very interesting because in the ancient Chinese, even they call it the land of immortals. They were always, through the history, the people lived in all those archipelago of islands. They've always been healthy and very, I would say, they have the longest disability-free life expectancy in the world. Through all the years in the history, in the ancient books, you will find it, those kind of statements. Right now, you will find in the researches, you also find the researches on that. You see those numbers here. When I'm putting those numbers, that means that this is at the end I have a bibliography with the researches which I made, and I can share it with you at the end, so just you can ask me about it later on. Yeah, so what is very interesting in Okinawa here, that they have a really significantly lower risk of any kind of diseases like heart attacks, stroke, cancers, osteoporosis, especially Alzheimer's. And even there was the research that they were still sexually active after the 90s. Don't ask me how they did it. Don't ask me. I just found some research. It was really interesting. So the next thing that I wanted to share with you is that Okinawa where last century was really famous out from, of course, the longest and the healthy people lived, and also they have the Guinness World Record in the longest and oldest living person verified. It was Mr. Izumi Chikachiyo. Somehow, because of some disturbance and not clear with his birth certificate, he was detonized by the other person because somehow they didn't know that if there was his birth certificate or his brother, but nevertheless they found out, the researchers, that on that particular islands, on Okinawa Islands, there was a lot of people living really long and healthy life. And the researchers started to dig in through, if they found out, they always wanted to find, this longevity gene or whatever on the success, how to long live and healthy. And they started to stick their probes everywhere. How does it work? How the researcher will, just conquer the island. And they learned that there was nothing really special between the islanders and the Japanese in the lifestyle, in the diet, but still they were really astonished by the whole process. Why the whole population of people only living in that specific place had a really long and healthy life. So they found out one very interesting thing, which I'm going to share with you right now. It is in the movie, so just give me a second. I'm going to
clear waters along the Nansei archipelagos of Japan, there is an ancient series of islands known today as Okinawa. These islands are home to some of the largest and most prolific coral reefs in the world. Full of beautiful colors and endless varieties of sea life, the islands of Okinawa are remnants of ancient coral reefs, built up by time to form a large landmass. Many of the people who live here enjoy remarkably good health. They live, play, and work by the sea, enjoying its many bounties, farming and eating their own food. Studies of this people have found that they not only live longer than anyone else in the world, but they also have a lower rate of cancer, heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, and other degenerative diseases. The quality of life they enjoy in later years appears to be better than anywhere else on the earth. Okinawa longevity villages have many residents living in them that are 80 to 115 years old. Most of the residents here are enjoying active and fulfilling lives without disabling diseases found in most other communities throughout the world.
Our residents have the lowest mortality rate for cancer and heart disease.
I'm very active and healthy.
Many scientists and medical doctors have come to the island to study the mysteries of health and longevity of these people. They have discovered that the source of their good health is not coming entirely from strenuous exercise or a healthy diet. A major part relates to the water they are drinking. The water the islanders are drinking is different from water found anywhere else in the world. When rain falls, the water percolates through ancient coral deposits and picks up minerals and other elements that enrich it with calcium and magnesium. Even today, people can collect their own drinking water at natural springs like this throughout Okinawa. The water is untreated and considered safe for the public to drink.
This is a mountain, part of the mountain, the coral reef coral, and the water is coming through.
Today, many homes in Okinawa have their own water collection systems on their roofs that contain coral filters. Most everyone in Okinawa, regardless of where they live, drink water filtered through coral. As the value of coral water was confirmed by scientists, Susumu Yuhara wanted to find a way to make this water available to everyone anywhere in the world. In 1983, his vision was to develop a simple sachet bag to hold the coral. Thanks to his pioneering efforts, millions of people worldwide now enjoy this wonderful water, and the Marine Coral Company was born.
He invented this wonderful sachet bag, which we are using for so many years, and we are so happy, and he is wonderful. That invention is wonderful.
For the first time in history and in an entire world, I put up a plan for coral products to bring the benefits to the rest of the world, making the best use of the latest technology and engineering. And I think I can say I am a pioneer in that particular respect.
From the very beginning, the Japanese government has exclusively handled all the mining of the ancient coral from Okinawa. This environmentally sensitive process does no harm to new coral growth and provides Marine Coral Company the building blocks for a product that can be produced for the public worldwide. Once the raw materials are carefully selected, the Marine Coral Company transfers the materials to their plant in Takasaki, Japan. Here they use a patented proprietary cleaning and drying process, setting them apart from other companies manufacturing a coral product and ensuring that the coral is clean and pure.
The coral must be cleansed very, very carefully so that that porosity can work to absorb impurities from drinking water.
After nearly 2 decades of research, scientists have discovered that small amounts of Okinawa coral added to just about any liquid can have remarkable effects on the body. Coral Mine comes in a convenient 1-gram bag that can be added to 1.5 liters of pure water. Water is the single most important nutrient for sustaining human life. The body consists of 70% water, and blood is 90% water. The blood is responsible for transporting nourishment to every living cell. Under normal conditions, the average person requires 1.5 to 3 liters of water per day. Unfortunately, the world's water supply is rapidly deteriorating due to pollutants, pesticides, and acid rain. Harmful elements to the body such as chloroform, nitrates, cadmium, and aluminum can be found in most water today. These pollutants come from factory discharges, agriculture, and sewer systems and find their way into the drinking water supply of almost every home in the world. This simple demonstration shows how coral water can help purify typical drinking water. You may live in an area where water has little or no chlorine, but still has a low pH and high acid level. The body needs water with a high pH level to fight against sickness and disease. To illustrate the value of balanced water, at an acid level of 6.0, crabs die. Fish die at a pH level of 3.0, and all life dies at a pH level of 2.5. Leading biochemists and medical physiologists have recognized proper pH level and acid-alkaline balance as the most important aspect of a balanced and healthy body. Even documents published in China in 1596 suggest fossilized coral as a food supplement. The combination of elements in fossilized coral is very high alkaline with a pH level nearly identical to human blood and seawater. Coral Mine increases water's pH level and makes it more alkaline. Coral Mine also neutralizes any waste products present in water and adds important minerals and calcium, which are often removed during treatment at the local water plant. Even water with impurities such as chlorine, bacteria, algae, heavy metals, and fluoride can be treated with Coral Mine.
We must guard ourselves against these pollutions by drinking an optimum drinking water made by coral products, Coral Mine.
Many people understand the devastating health dangers of chlorine present in almost all community water systems, but they do not realize that recent studies suggest that an even more serious danger occurs when chlorine water is heated to the boiling point. Coral Mine can be used in a wide variety of ways. Many people treat their tap water with Coral Mine before it is heated. Fruits and vegetables are rinsed in Coral Mine. Tea water is treated before boiling, and even ice cubes are made from Coral Mine water.
So what was really interesting about water, that we're going to talk about it during the webinar later on, but it's a natural water. It's a water that you would get it from the source, yeah. So what is really interesting that you cannot just transport it, because that water is, they call it living water, and that water leaves, I would say, only for 12 or up to 24 hours, and then it turns into normal mineral water. Really interesting. But about the future, we're going to talk about it later on. Minerals in the water are very interesting because, as this Linus Pauling, very well-known laureate Nobel Prize in 1954, biochemists and chemists and peace activists, of course, educator, says once that you can trace every sickness, every disease, and every ailment to a mineral deficiency. And what I was able to establish from my research, I noticed that it's completely true. My personal experience and my conclusions, and not only mine, but I heard it somewhere before, but I can just say that every kind of health issues starts because of two reasons. First of all, first reason is that your body, has built in the nature, built in into your body a self-healing mechanism, and in order to do self-healing mechanisms works properly, you have to provide to your organism all the ingredients which it's needed. And in somehow, if any kind of an ingredient, and even a small one which is needed, it's going to be missing, this self-healing mechanism is not going to working well. And I believe this is one and the first cause of any kind of disease, of health problems, missing minerals in your body, minerals or any kind of substance that you needed, vitamins, acids, amino acids, whatever, you name it. So your body just missing something. Or on the other hand, your body has got something which is non-natural, and it cannot stand and it cannot work out. So this is the other way around. So I believe there are only two issues. So either you need to provide something, either you need to get rid of something from your body. This is what I believe. This is the most common health issues. Of course, you have there's also genetics issue, but we also know that there is epigenetic science which really clearly indicates that in order to, I would say, deviate a gene to start working, you have to put a signal. So you have to have anything from the outside triggering that gene. So this is a completely different thing, but this is, I believe, and I share that opinion with this great scientist. Minerals, that I would say in general, I would distinguish two kinds of minerals. Non-organic mineral without electric charge, I would say they are within a stable matter. They are mostly in tablets and whatever you're gonna find them, that they are suspended in a stable chemical, I would say, charge, so they are stable. And organics, which are electric charge, which calls ion, they are unstable because they are missing one. They are electrically charged, so they're gonna be always trying to find, steal, or borrow an electron to have it stable. Because like every law in physics goes to its minimum state of energy. And if something is unstable, try to find stability. This is normal things. And what's very interesting here, that absorption of the mineral, as I already mentioned, it depends on the mineral form that you are providing to your body. So when you have a non-organic form, the stable one, it's only 10% of mineral absorption by your body. So it's really, really low, I would say. When you have a chelae form, it's up to 40%. That's really interesting. So you're not only taking some supplements or whatever, you know that 40% of that strictly goes to your cells. This is the aim of this, what you're doing. There's also colloidal form, which is, sometimes you just add some additional ingredient which is easier for your body to absorb the mineral with this ingredient. So it's even up to 88%, but this is still, struggling with this, what to do next with this additional ingredient. So I always send yourself this problem, how to get rid of it. Sometimes it's useful, but sometimes it's not. But there's also organics form. There's ions, which I told you. Like, for example, you have those ions in fresh vegetables, fresh juices, fresh water from the source, not from the mineral bottle. They will never find an ionized water over there. It's just strictly chemical ingredients, really not natural, I would say. So absorption of those minerals is up to 100%, because this absorption don't start only into your digestive system, down the road after your stomach or intestines. It starts right away from your mouth. This is very interesting. The minerals in organics form really absorb through all your body, even for your skin sometimes, because they are electrically charged, so they are being attracted by something which is inside our body, so that goes into our cells, into our organism. This is why the nature made this form 4. What is really interesting in this coral reef that you saw in the movie, it's very sophisticated I wouldn't say plant or animal, something between. It's got either plants and either minimal animal features and characteristics, and it's very, very, I would say, I said that word sophisticated, but very picky about the environment where he lives, and it is really always choose this sango coral, this special type of coral, choose the clear and the fresh and the good water for itself to live. In this particular thing, it's very interesting because it synergized algae called Zooxanthellae, which somehow they absorb the minerals from the sea and store them into their body, and after they're gonna change into the calcium carbonate skeleton. This is what this coral mine is doing. So we're gonna harvest this coral carbonate skeleton. You will find this minerals and ionized minerals inside the skeleton. And later on, when you're pouring it into your own water, you're gonna release those minerals, ionized minerals, into your water in your glass, and then you have this fresh with ionized naturally water to drink. It's very, very an amazing process, I would say. When I first time I thought about it and find out about it, I said nature is a great thing ever, and it really designed its process in a way that nobody could even design. It's just amazing how does it work. That's why I'm sharing it with you today. Here we have the sango coral minerals, elements of the chemical composition of the sango coral. What kind of minerals? You can find them here. You have the whole list. I believe there are more around 70 of them, but what is very interesting, they are balanced. They went through the very sophisticated algae for that. They will not just pick any kind of minerals. They will just balance it in the perfect ratios and store it in their bodies, and when they die, we're gonna right now use those minerals and this ratio, this composition, for our health benefits, which is very, very impressive here. And what is very interesting that if you have this I believe units ppm, so this means particles per million particles, so you have a really, really huge amount of calcium. It's for almost 400,000 particles per million. So I would say that 30% of all that water is calcium. That's very interesting. What is very inspiring in calcium, that is well known as a king of minerals. Yes, and it really runs through all our process and chemical issues in our body. It is really this calcium deficiency is really responsible for many kind of health issues that you can still treat and try to find some disease on it. But if you would just absorb iron, organic calcium, you will get rid of most of them. That's why this health approach, it's different. Don't focus on disease, focus on what you're missing, and then just try to get it to your body, absorb it, and then you will see that it will most of the time many of your health issues will just disappear. This is how it works, and this is what I like the most in that process. So this calcium is very, very interesting. It's interesting mineral concerning our health and body. It's needed for almost every chemical I would say reaction in our organism. It's very interesting. What is really inspiring here, that the calcium is responsible for our pH balance in our body. What we are right now doing, we are eating a lot of processed food, which is somehow artificially using artificial preservatives. They are mostly acids. So we are eating just acidic food. We are getting acidic and turned into acidic. And almost more than 80 years ago, Otto Heinrich Warburg already got a Nobel Prize winner in 1931. And he established and he found out that all forms of cancer have two conditions: acidosis and hypoxia. Acidosis means this is that your body is too acidic. So when your body is too acidic, the cells, instead of using the oxygen, because in acidic environment oxygen will not go to your cell, start using the sugar to metabolism and to run, and while changing their DNA, or I would say mutating in the next generation, they're gonna become cancer cells. This is how the cancer starts. So you need calcium to equalize pH balance in your body in order to keep yourself out of acidicity, because it's a basic of any cancer. So that's why look what's happening for the people at when they are getting old, and why the people with age getting osteoporosis, because your body uses calcium from your bones to equalize all acids that you're taking in, especially preservatives and the sugar, which turns into acid in your body. Then you really need calcium. Your body has an alkalinity storage in your bones, and with time this storage is going to be used. So that's why you need water with calcium, and it's very important in, I would say, here in cancer prevention, or to keep you healthy. There was a studies on calcium from coral done in Japan, in Katsugi Hospital, and it was published in Journal of Bone and Mineral Metabolism. So there was an 18-month study. It's double-blind study, how they call it, a Japanese study on elderly people, hospitalized women, at an average 80 years old, and they were just noticing that supplementing them with the sea-sourced calcium, so this organic ionized calcium, turned out into 5% increase of their calcium intake, in absorption in their bones density, let's say. So that was astonishing, because I would say 5% is not a lot, but even that at age 80 increase by 5% is amazing. And comparing with rock source calcium, so with some tablets or with some other sources which were not organics, didn't change at all. Of course, the third group was no extra calcium, just the hospital diet, which it was even decreased 10%, because this is what your body is going to do with age. It's going to decrease your calcium density in your bones, because it's needed to fight with acidicity with your body, to prevent, because to keep the pH balance on a particular scale. There was a lot of studies concerning the calcium, and most of them were always stating that the long life which has been granted to Okinawa population depends definitely on the effect of the coral water, so of the water which they are drinking in, which was amazed me from the beginning, because I like this kind of natural things, like, and simple answers. Engineering is also about the simple answers. You have a problem, you need to find a solution, very simple and very reliable, and nature gives us these simple answers for any kind of health issues. It's very simple and very reliable, just water with special treatment, and then you're gonna be healthy for life. That is amazing. That really is amazing. I found a lot of researches about it concerning the other, in different kind of, not only in England, also in Norway, in USA. They did a lot of studies with coral water concerning the treatment effect, how does it work, what is the effect, and all of them are really, really positive concerning the less pain, more movement, less swelling, less joint pains, and all this stuff, which was really interesting. Most of them has really great health improvement, because, as I already mentioned, this mineral absorption. This is one of the health issues that you have. You're missing some minerals. So with an organic form, you're gonna have it really, really fast. Absorption gonna start from your mouth, and then your cells gonna be, they're gonna get nutrients which they needed for this self-health mechanism, self-healing mechanism. It's really impressive. I like it the most. What is very interesting here, that this calcium is a very known remedy. It's not something, this coral calcium is not something which we invented in 20th century. No, there is I believe in Spain, there is the oldest documented pharmacy, like it exists right now, more or less, in a shape, in a procedure, and in those records they already had a coral calcium. So it's not really new. It's something that it was being here for all the time. I found also in many different resources, features and publications, some few words about this coral powder calcium, how they're using it, and they noticed that right now most of the Eastern world are using that. And what is even interesting right now, we are the companies right now opening to the Western world as well. So now this coral mine is also available in USA and Canada. So not only people on the East is gonna have a great access to getting healthy for life, but also the Western world as well, of course, if they choose. Depends. Nobody, for us, no one here. I found also the cancer diagnosis. What now? There's a very nice book about it, and this Robert Barefoot calcium treatment. So he starts with this alkalizing the body. It's the first thing. If the main reason of the any cancer is just you have an acidic body, so you have to alkalize that. So they were using this to increase the alkalinity into your body. They were using the coral calcium with amazing results. So you can read it through the book. You're gonna see it. In other publication, I found that it was stated that it balanced pH level in the body, as we already noticed that. Immune system, boosts the immune system, and boosts the amount of oxygen into the body. Why? What is the last statement says about? It's very interesting because our body needs, of course, to live, needs oxygen, and also needs water. And it's very interesting that I found studies that in the United States, in one of the universities, that they noticed that our cells need, of course, water. They live in the surrounding of the water, but our cells need water and oxygen. And they take water and, of course, disassemble H2O, use the hydrogen for energy, and also the oxygen for energy, for metabolism, chemical reactions and all this stuff. But what is interesting, the cell needs 5 times more, takes 5 times more oxygen from the water than from the oxygen itself from the air. So that means that our cells breathe with oxygen 5 times more sourced from water than from the air. So it was really interesting studies. I was shocked by that. Of course, they are on the beginning of that studies. So that's why this really boosts amount of oxygen. And as we know, again, the main reason of any cancer, what already Warburg got a Nobel Prize from, it's balanced pH level, so acidity, and hypoxia, to lack of oxygen, and this really boosts the amount of oxygen in our body. So it's really interesting. I've stumbled upon also, I just wanted to know how the people, if it's well-known remedy from many years, and how the people haven't been heard about it, and if they used what they were thinking about it, what are the testimonials. So I found one site here, I believe on wikiworld.com. You will find not only dozens but hundreds of different kind of I wouldn't say diseases, but health issues which they have started to using the coral powder, and they noticed that those health issues has either disappeared completely or decreased to an amount that they could still live with them. That was really amazing. You can just Google them and find them. I can send you the links later on if you want. It was really impressive. I read almost all of them, and I was really impressed by the way how the people really price that remedy, which is very simple, which I like. The simplest answer, the better. This is how engineering works, or also the nature works. Concerning the harvesting is the collecting this sand, I would say, or those carbon skeletons of this algae and the coral reef. It's very interesting because it's very supervised by Japanese government. I know that many of you might still have issue with economics and local environment. Don't worry, it is really covered and really supervised by Japanese government. You know Japan, they are very smart. They will never destroy their natural environment, so they really try to keep it on the easiest way as possible. And what is very interesting, everybody thought that, if you take the coral will die, which is totally untrue, because what is very interesting that the position of the coral sands, of this coral calcium, at the base of the reef actually inhibits the growth of the coral reefs. So it is like a underwater plant that I would say skeleton or fossils plant that we need to gather all the time. Otherwise, they're gonna have a trouble to live on. This is very interesting. Harvesting marine coral calcium is not only beneficial to the man, as we already said, but to the coral reef as well, because the Okinawa Islands are very shallow. So if you will not harvest that sand, it will cover the existing and living coral, and it will die by itself. So you have to do it in order to keep them flourish. It's very interesting. That's why I was getting it very serious. That might be very useful to share this information with you. I also found some kind of the letter from the Department of Chemistry, Biology and Marine Science Faculty of Science in the University of Ryukyu in Japan, and there was very interesting words which I wanted to share with you as well. The harvest of coral calcium does not give damages on the living coral. This is very interesting and very useful information for us, because I don't want to take advantage of the natural sources and destroy any kind of natural environment when the coral reefs on Okinawa. No, it wouldn't be my idea, and it wouldn't be also my desire to do so to take my health advantages. No, it's not. It was a very useful information to share. Is that the harvesting 100 tons, so it's a lot of coral, believe me, 100 tons monthly, so it's 1,200 tons annually. It's equivalent only of 0.01% of the coral grains annual production, which is amazing. I would say that we are 7 billion people all the world. We can just make a simple calculation, and still I believe that if all of the people would still drink daily water with coral, you wouldn't even use those annual production of this coral reef. It's just amazing statement which I really like the most. I wanted to share with you because it is really useful information. How the whole process looks like. So first of all, they grind it. Later on, they rinse it with the water and low pressure heating with neutral gas to get rid of the only kind of bacteria and all the things that you wouldn't like to have. Then you keep it drying for 4 hours, and you pack it to the rice packet. So it's a very interesting process. And what can you expect when you start to drink coral water? This is very interesting, because it's not going to happen miraculously that you're going to be healthy just right away. No, it's not going to work. It depends how much toxins or the trashes you have in your body. This is how you're going to feel, because coral water actually detoxify your body. Because when you start drinking coral water, you will start feel differently. If you're going to start that, you're going to start drinking water, you're not going to run to the bathroom really often, because this water is not going to just flush your body through your body. It will stay into your cells. This is how the first step in those 4 steps to have is super hydration. It will just fulfill your space between the cells. You will feel much more energetic. You will start to feel much more hydrated. This is how it works. So you have more or less detox phase or 3 phases. So when you start to detoxify yourself, you might experience what is called healing crazes. The first phase is catabolism, where the toxin removals, because you have gathered through all your life so many toxins and so many trashes, is much higher than tissue development. So your body cannot even equal the speed of toxin removals to the tissue development. So you might feel a little bit not so happy and healthy from the beginning right away, to be honest. You might still experience some pains and all the stuff, some strange headaches that you didn't experience before. You're gonna start drinking coral water and say, "Oh, I was feeling good right now. When I'm drinking it, I feel some joint pains or whatever." People experience different things, but this is why your body, pain is a signal that your body is doing something. Either something is doing to your body, or your body is doing something. In this case, we're gonna start drinking coral mine water. Your body's gonna detoxify it. Then you're gonna go through the phase 2, the stabilization, and the phase 3, which is anabolism, when you have it will be a constant toxin removal flush with the coral water, and the tissue development is going to be much higher, so you're not going to feel any problems with that. From my personal point, I know many people had some issues, mostly with joint pains or headaches, I had some rashes on my skin, but I knew that it's a normal process. Through your skin, you're just getting rid of your of the heavy metals that you have in your body. So that's why I was happy to see some rashes. That means that my body is getting rid of things which I shouldn't have it. For example, my wife, she has never, what is very interesting, she has never sweat before. Really, she didn't. I thought that she's got some disease or something. I don't know. She has never sweat before. Even after the hard workout during the hot summer, I was sweating like me, and she had not a drop on her skin. And she was thinking that she's okay, and that's really advantageous. No, it wasn't. Now we know that when we research that, we know that no, you should sweat, because through the sweat, this is how you're going to remove your heavy metals from your body, because the skin is actually the repine organ, so it's really to get rid of the things that you don't need. Since she is drinking the coral water, she is sweating like me almost, which is incredibly and impressive. Which is she started to feel much more energetic as well, me too, and she really like it. Even she's sweating, she really like it, and she got this experience. So it's really interesting. What coral mine will do to your water, first of all, it's gonna change some characteristics. So if you're gonna, I'm using the filtered water. You can use any water, because coral mine also adding some minerals into the water, but also trying to remove or purify the water as well. But I personally using the filtered water, using the reverse osmosis filter. So I have a normal distilled water, which is, I would call dead water. Now I have to revive it somehow. So I'm using the coral, putting coral every day. I'm drinking only coral water for the last couple of years. And first of all, it's going to change the pH. We talk about pH and how important it is to our health. So it's going to change the pH up to 8.5, more or less. So the water will start to be alkaline. So you're going to start drinking alkaline water, and the whole process of adding the coral into the water will end up with much better water absorption by your body. This is the aim. You are dehydrated, the minerals are not getting into your cells because there is no space to distribute them with the water, with the nutrients and lipids and all the stuff. So you need to hydrate your body first. This is the first step in the whole 4 steps to health process. So that's why you need to hydrate. So you need to change the water characteristics in order to make it much more assimilable by your body. The water is going to be really getting into your cells instead of just getting into your kidneys and out. So it's going to change the pH up to 8.5. This is my photo in my kitchen. I have also the video on this channel on this, so you can easily watch it. It's going to change also the redox potential. What is redox potential? Water will become an antioxidant. So it's gonna, there's free radicals and antioxidant fights. Why we need antioxidants? There's a huge battle all the time in your body. So with some portion of food, you're gonna get much more free radicals. So you have to really provide to your body free radicals to fight with them, to neutralize them, to keep it stable. Physics. Everything has to be stable in harmony. If it's not, it's going one direction or the other one, it's bad. So you have to be in a harmony. So you have too much free radicals from your food, processed food that you're eating. You have to provide antioxidants from the living food or from the living water, which is here indicated. So you can see also in this channel also you're going to see, if you want to see the video about it, how it's changing the water redox potential measured with oxidation redox potential or epimeter. What's going to happen next when you add coral mine to the water? The surface tension is going to change as well. What is surface tension? It's I would call it the softness of the water. You see there's this bag floating on the water. It's not going down, it's not sinking because of the surface tension. You see that how droplets of the water forms the droplets that are really a round shape, and the droplets of the blood are not the same. They're really flat because they have much lower surface tension. And this is what coral water is going to do. It's going to lower the surface tension in order to your body will not have to work on that water to absorb it. It's all about energy. If you drink a bad water, a bad fluids, coffee, sodas, or teas, or whatever, even a fresh juice. Fresh juice are full of antioxidants, but also really acidic. So your body right now needs to work on that fluids in order to absorb them. You know, our pH level of our blood is 7.36, something like that, and it cannot change. If you're gonna change it, you're gonna die. So in order to fulfill your blood with the water, and of course our blood is 95% of the water, so of the fluid of the water, exactly. So from the fluid that you're drinking, your body needs to work on that fluids to change it into assimilable. So if you are drinking the bad fluids, bad water, dead or wrong pH, or no negative redox, no bad surface tension, and also structure, we're going to talk about it in a few seconds, your body needs to still use a lot of energy to rearrange all the features in the water in order to make it absorbable. So that's why when you drink cola water, your body gonna assimilate this water very quickly, and you start feeling super hydrated. This is how it works. A water structure. What is the water structure? There was one guy, very interesting scientist, Masaru Emoto. He was just wondering about the idea, and of course it's not only idea, but it's well-known fact that there is no such a two snowflakes the same. They have never been the same, and he was wondering why. This is only water, maybe even some chemical compounds. If they are dropping from the same clouds, they have the same, mostly they have the same chemical compounds. What's going on with them? And he learned through his researches that the water makes clusters, which called structures. So you can easily influence the water with any kind of motion or vibrational issues, music or whatever. It's a very interesting book. Also the YouTube video I really recommended, The Hidden Message in the Water, and as you can learn about it, how does it work. It's very interesting. And it's also your water into your body. It was well researched that the water inside your body is structured water, so your body needs to still work on it. If you don't drink structured water to enable to absorb it, you have to work on that, so you're going to lose energy. It's very interesting because when you're eating food, of course your body digests, so it's also losing, but you're using energy to digest. That's why we feel sleepy after when you're eating. And with the same with the water, if you drink water, your body first identifies if I can absorb that water or not. If cannot, I have to work on it. So I have to change pH, I have to change redox, I have to change surface tension, blah blah blah. So that's why the coral water is really easily assimilable. This is more or less, this is the photo of coral water before adding the water, and after you see there's a really symmetrical, nice octagon shape. Now we're going to talk about the people who we should thank to in pioneers in this world, that we should thank to the people that help and distribute that natural remedy to our houses, I would say. As you saw in the movie, the Susumu Ohara is a founder of the Marine Company and absolutely leader in producing and harvesting this kind of powders. It's not a supplement. It's a powder that we're gonna add to the water. It's not gonna dissolve because this is a rock. It's only a purifies water and conditions, but it's not dissolves in the water. It changes the features. It doesn't change the taste, but you will change the features which I mentioned. But you will not see the change in taste or whatever. You will see a little bit small, I would say pieces of oxygen. It will be really ionized, that water. As you see normal water in the glass, you have this normal water. When you put the coral, wait 10 minutes, and you see that the water is really oxidized. It's really full of life. This is what's going to happen. And Susumu Ohara started this company in 1983 and is really absolutely pioneer in harvesting and providing gas to our houses, which we should really be thankful for. Another person, he started to cooperate with Dr. Clinton Howard, which you most likely know as a Dr. Aloe. He was, I would say, he industrialized aloes in 70s, so he changed that also natural remedy from aloes into the remedies that we can easily go and buy in the shops or through other different means and use it. So it was really very interesting and nice things to do for ourselves. He's a founder of Eurobody Care company, he's a big company in, I believe, in Texas, as far as I remember, in states, producing supplements based only on natural things, and they are leaders in that. They invented and patented the microhydrin. We can talk about later on about the microhydrin. It's a very interesting supplement which really changed also the features of the water. Very interesting and powerful supplement. And he's also founder, or even coming to, he's still the founder, when in this hospital they're using only their own medicaments, which they're using 100% natural. It's very interesting. Dr. Christopher Hills, the father and founder of Spirulina, he was a very interesting person concerning his researches. He always wanted to change the world. He was a pacifist. He was in Hamza people in Himalayas to protect the Dalai Lama and trying to really change the world with his researches and what he was doing. And he thought that spirulina, it's a very interesting thing, can be a solution for the world hunger, because it really provides all of the things that we should eat. It's one of the superfoods, which is most likely well known already, but unfortunately Christopher is not with us anymore. But his, I would say, cooperant, Christopher Hills, almost got a Nobel Prize. He was nominated to the Nobel Prize because of the spirulina, so it was really high and the pioneer in his level of health industry concerning the supplements. Dr. Albert Serr, it's a very interesting person as well. He was working with Christopher Hills, and he is a founder and developer of Kolavada program, which is used in our second step in cleansing. When you really detoxify and then cleanse and the fungal, the parasites, your body, deworm your body, it takes 14 days. In first 7 days you just prepare your body to really cleanse, and you're taking some supplements like I don't know, alfalfa, black walnut leaves, lucerna, powder as well, and it really goes to, it prepares for first 7 days, and everything goes to your intestines, all the toxin. And for the next 4 days you just have 4 days of fasting, so you don't eat anything, but you're drinking the kaolin clay. It will go into your intestines and expand, I believe, 40 times. So even if you don't eat anything, only drinking that this clay with water, you will not feel really starving, because your body, your stomach and your intestines will be fulling. But later you're gonna just repent all of the things. You're gonna get rid of all the things that you have, and it's a really interesting cleansing program, because it's one of not all of them. I would say it was developed over 16 years of development, so it was really interesting and very famous because it's a mechanical cleansing of your intestines. All of the people, most of the programs are focused on the larger intestines. Also you can do it mechanically, but cleaning mechanically smaller intestines requires a surgery, but with this program you can do it easily. So it's really very useful. I really recommend, and very well known in the industry. We have in our team also Professor Olga Butakova. She has 15 medical specializations. She's very amazing and open and bright-minded concerning the health issues. She always have this desire to help people, and that's why she also ended up doing a pedagogy study to learn how to teach, because she always wanted to share their knowledge and their experience with the people. She's also founder of our Coral Health Academy. So this is how we get the knowledge from through our pioneers, through our educational and knowledge systems. This expertise goes from up to bottom through our leaders in our organizations to ourselves to start working on and bringing our health to much higher and better level. Who made it up? Coral Club International was founded by Leonid Lap and Kaza Mahbayan in 1997. It was almost, I believe right now, 19 years ago in the market, in the eastern part of the world. Right now they have, there's a global industry, having 7 manufacturing countries in USA, Canada, Russia, France, Germany, South Korea, Japan, and having sales over in 38 countries, and still growing and growing. They always care about their products, and they always care about their what they're doing on board. They started, I believe, with 15 products. Yeah, this 18 years ago. Right now they have more than 150 products in their offer, which is very interesting because they're always trying to take and go on board only really uniqueable products and products which have a really well-known, established research behind it. It's not like, you know, any kind of products, and there are really great certifieds in 40 countries all over the world. I mean, concerning the certs of sales, that's really impressive concerning this really small company, what they're doing. So they have this mission. All of those people gathered together, and they have this mission to make the world a better place. I know that's as horny as it sounds. I believe in that statement because we came here for some reasons, and I have the same reason. I want to left that world that first of all I meant something here, and I changed something here, and I was able to do my best to change it. That's why after getting those research behind it, scientific research, and also their mission statement and values which they promoting, I'm following that as well, and I really like it. And if you would like to become part of that as well, if you would like to make the world a better place by sharing the knowledge and experience, you can just join us. And with those 4 whys, with the pioneers in industry, world-class products, Coral Club Health Academy, and 4 steps to health approach, which I'm going to help create a different webinar about, simply focus on only those 4 steps, you can really make a world a better place, which I believe. And the Coral Club is first of all, we are friends. We are friends. We are sharing the knowledge in a really friendly environment. We're really motivated to educate people about the health and the health issues. That's why what we do today, really, it's going to define our tomorrow. And that's why I would like to invite you on board to join us and to become part of our mission to make a world a better place. I promised you that I'm going to show you the bibliography. If you want to, I'm going to send it to you as well. And also I promised you that I'm going to share my results at the end of this webinar. So yes, I'm still working on my body, I'm still working on my fitness, but what is the best? Yeah, my shape has changed, but I'm after 30s. I have never felt so much energetic as I'm feeling right now, which is really amazing because I feel much more energetic. I've never was able to work long hours in the night sometimes and wake up at 5 AM and still have an energy to walk around and run and jog and improve my energy stamina. It's just amazing how you can do with this kind of approach, which I really would like to share it with you, and that's why I'm doing